We are almost done with the test. We just need a few more steps to finalize it all and wrap it up. To keep an overview of what tests are still active or in progress, you want to archive the finished tests in your testing tool. Next, you want to document all the learnings you got from your A/B test. And of course, you also want to document the new test ideas you got on your test backlog. And for the other tests in the test backlog, you want to redo the prioritization based on the insight you got from this A/B test, unless your prioritization is automated. Finally, when your A/B test resulted in a significant uplift, you want to send it to IT or development so it can be implemented on the website. Let's start by documenting everything in Sheets. In the Test Plan tab, the test is still in Analysis. We have done the learnings and reportings so we can set it to Implementation. Once the implementation is done, we can set the status to Done, or simply remove this test from this tab and add it to Tests Finalized. This tab displays all the completed experiments with all outcomes. After filling out the fields, you see next up is the behavioral hypothesis. And this one is, of course, important. We have the behavioral hypothesis, which we tested right here. And we can add a score to the number of times being proven and 1 to the cart page, as it was proven there. Now, as an example, I displayed the entire funnel of an e-commerce website. So you can imagine that if you have several behavioral hypotheses listed right here and keep track of where these behavioral hypotheses are successful, you start learning what works where in the customer journey. And this, of course, is very valuable information. Next, you can document the learnings for the behavioral hypothesis you tested. So we have the learning, the test ID, and the outcome. All this information helps you keep track of your learnings, get valuable insights about your customers' motivations and behaviors, and helps you to be very successful in the long run. Now let's check out Airtable. The test is still in Analyze. We can open the record and fill out all the information we want. We already have the hypothesis, page, device, start date, and end date. Do not forget to change the end date if you decided to let the test run for an extra week due to insufficient traffic. We have the short name, the description, the behavioral hypothesis, screenshots for the control and the variant, the experiment type, and the KPI. And now we get to the analysis fields. I already filled out the numbers, so you do not have to watch me fill out every field. So we have the number of users and conversions in control with the conversion rate, and the same for the variant. We have the uplift and the Bayesian score, so the chance that B will outperform A. If you want, you can also add these numbers for a secondary KPI. For this, you will have to add extra fields. Of course, we also have the learnings and recommendations. We already had the related test ID. Of course, we have the business case and a link to the report in Google Slides. You could also add it as an attachment. And finally, we have a checkbox if the variant is implemented or not. So there we go. This test is done. Therefore, we can move it to implementation. When the change is implemented, we can move it to Done. After filling out all the fields in the record, some data in Airtable gets updated automatically with my setup. We can now see that we did one test for our behavioral hypothesis related to clarity, and it was a winner. So the win rate is 100%, and this is the related experiment. And the page table shows that our experiment was successful on the cart page. If you set up the automated prioritization in Airtable and you have test ideas based on the same behavioral hypothesis and the same page, so in this case the cart, Those test ideas will automatically get a higher prioritization score as it has proven to be successful on your website. Again, if you want to learn everything about Airtable, check out my free course on Udemy. And if you want to set up automated prioritization, check out the link in the lecture resources and your handbook. Finally, you want to document your new test ideas in this table again. Fill out all the fields for each new test idea to get the prioritization score, and you are done with the documentation, ready for a new experiment. As we got 3 new test ideas based on one A/B test, our conversion optimization practices will keep on going and will become more and more successful. With every test, you will keep building on your successes and learn about your visitors' behavior, motivations, and needs. So, the documentation is done. The last thing you want to do is send the A/B test winner to the IT or development backlog and have them implement it on the website. And that's it. Congratulations for making it this far. We have finished our A/B test. Now it is time to start a new one.